welcome to the eDiscovery Basecamp with Steve and Jack, where we cover all things eDiscovery and beyond. Tune in each week for a new episode featuring hot eDiscovery topics, amazing guests, and several other surprises. Let's adventure together.
Very good. Welcome, everybody. This is the first edition of eDiscovery Basecamp. My name is Steve Hartwig. I am the founder and CEO of C-TEQ Data Consultants based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And sitting next to me is...
I'm Jack Hartwig. I am the marketing guy, and that's pretty much all there is to me.
Now, interesting, you have the same last name. That's not a coincidence, is it?
No, it's not a coincidence, and a lot of people ask me, is it a requirement of the job to change your last name to Hartwig when you start working at C-TEQ? No, we are actually related. I am Steve's nephew, and Steve is my uncle. So
we figured that out recently, right? We did like a Ancestry.com test, and
I came storming into your office, and I.
Yeah, just never occurred to us. Well, let's talk just a little bit about ourselves and our background in eDiscovery. We do think that we're going to attract some people in the eDiscovery industry. That is one of the focuses, or would you say foci?
I think it's just
say it's.
It's a focus. It's definitely a focus of this podcast.
Yeah, a focus of this podcast. However, as we explain things going along here, we're going to probably broaden that a bit and show you that we've got something a little bit different in mind than just your standard, typical, let's talk about all the tech we can talk about in eDiscovery. So I really got my start in this business in the typewriter days. It was pre-personal computer. 2002, 2003 was kind of the advent of eDiscovery. May really have been 2004 when I first started seeing it. And I've been there in that space on the vendor side ever since. Can't seem to get away, and like everybody else, I fell into it by accident. So I'm kind of imagining, Jack, you're a bit younger than I am. Mm-hmm. You must have gone to eDiscovery school, right?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
And what was your degree in? It was something technical, right?
No, it was business administration.
Oh,
so
okay,
so nothing remotely technical. So that's I guess that's a big point, and that's what we to a lot of the interns here too, is that you won't learn this stuff in school, and it's a really wonderful, unique industry to grow in. And if you've got the aptitude to be open-minded and just ready to take on whatever the day has to throw at you, you're going to do well in this industry. You're gonna be able to find a way for yourself.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the mission of this podcast. And we're actually, because we can't sum it up in just, 2 words, like, hey, we're going to talk eDiscovery innovations. We're going to talk eDiscovery tech every week, every time we get on, and probably bore the daylights out of our audience. We actually want to grow a diverse audience, and an audience that we hope will be very interested in listening to what we have to say. We want to help you grow.
Yeah.
Grow in your knowledge in eDiscovery, but also grow as a person.
Right.
And, yeah. So there's 3 things that we really want to do in that. We want to be informative. We want to be thought-provoking. So we want you to ask questions, maybe of yourself, maybe of us. And we want to be entertaining. So if we don't accomplish those things, you probably won't be seeing us past week 2.
Right.
But we're going to give it our best shot, and hopefully you'll stick with us.
Yeah, exactly. And a part of the name, the eDiscovery Basecamp, is an emphasis on the collaborative nature of our industry, and just kind of using this as an opportunity as ask whatever questions you want. We'll talk about simple topics. We'll talk about complex topics. Everything is on the table here.
It doesn't necessarily mean we're hunkering down in one spot.
Mm-mm.
right? But it connotes the beginning of an adventure.
Yeah, I think so.
Would you say that?
Yeah, it's the exciting point. It's people who are new to the trek ahead of them. There's some experts in there too, and everyone's kind of just hanging out, collaborating, and trying to find the best way to accomplish really the same goal.
Right.
And there could be a base camp at the bottom of Mount Everest. There could be a base camp at the Grand Canyon. It could be whatever adventure you're trying to take. There's probably going to be a base camp there to prep for it, where seasoned veterans can share their knowledge with newer people in the industry. Thus kind of the dynamic that we have going here, where Steve has been in the industry
for like 100 years,
100 plus years, and I have not been in the industry for 100 plus years. We're just, a couple of guys that found out how to plug in a couple of microphones, and we're just going to see where this goes.
Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. And just a closing thought: let the people around you know that they matter.
Well said.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of the eDiscovery Basecamp. If you have any questions, comments, or want us to cover a certain topic, email us at info@teamctech.com. We'll see you next week.